Welcome back, everyone. It's Carrie again. Okay, today's topic is about time. It should be short and simple and sweet. Unfortunately, we always hope that we have all the time in the world, and most of the time we don't. But time is limited. Now, I know there's so many people out there that consider this greed, okay, where it's money, time equals money. I cannot get behind that concept that time is worth money. That's like buying time. It's like making a deal with the Grim Reaper, in a way, when you think about it, okay? What is worth more than money is time? Time is worth more than money. Money is not worth time. You only have a limited number of days here on Earth, and none of us know when. Mine is coming to an end soon, and I'm happy about it. I mean, I'm not going to be upset. I'm probably more upset that I even lived this life to begin with, in all honesty. But I'll be grateful for what I have, and I will be appreciative. And regardless of what's happened to me, I've been abundant. And I've been given a great deal of time. And I'll be honest, when I'm with, whether it be a friend, a family member, a loved one, a significant other, a husband, people want to buy you presents and gifts and shower you with, oh, you look great, this or that, affection in different ways. One thing you can give me that I will just be in total adoration of is time. Just to sit with me and give me your time. Have a conversation with me. Sometimes don't even speak at all. Watch something on TV. Just sit there together. You're giving me your time. That is, you can't put a dollar amount on that. Even if it's 2 minutes of time. That person gave that to you. They can't get those 2 minutes back. It's gone forever. And they can't give it to somebody else. You can't give that to somebody else. That was a once-in-a-lifetime gift given to you. Time. Value it as it should be valued. God's time is precious. Our time is precious. When it comes down to time for those who say they don't believe in God, no, I'm not telling you you're wrong. We all have a right to believe in what we want to believe in. And, I have my beliefs, and if you accept me for that, I accept you for yours. Okay, as long as you're not killing anyone. Okay, don't steal, don't kill, come on, the basics, don't lie. Just be decent, and then it doesn't matter what you believe in. Okay, it's just basic decency. I don't think we need a God or a religion or anything to tell us. We shouldn't even have to have laws on this stuff. It's that basic. Okay, to be a good person, just try, at least try. But when people that are really against God, hit me, and time comes up as a conversation piece or factor, I'm a big one to say, well, what day is it? What year are we in? I'm just asking some random question. And I'm like, think about that. Think about your timekeeping system. Your timekeeping system is based on Jesus's life. You do know that, right? We started keeping track of time before Christ and after Christ. So if God and Christ is not that important, if Christ, who it can be proven was a real person, he was a real person. The only question was whether or not he was actually God. Okay, or the Son of God, or the King of the Jews, or who was he? That's the big question. Not that whether he existed or not. Nobody's ever asked whether Jesus was an actual person. He was an actual person. And who caused a lot of controversy in history. Kind of like, you got, who would question if Hitler was a real person? Well, no, Hitler was a real person. Was Hitler Satan? Probably. And that's how we're going to get into a later video where it's coming up soon, where we find out I might actually be Satan's spawn, which is really ironic since I believe in God. I might believe in God because I do know Satan exists. So if Satan exists, God has to, right? And I've just decided I'm going to betray my father and not be Satan's spawn anymore. I want to go let God be my father, you know, kind of thing. So I don't know. That's another. It's coming up. That video is coming up, and I think it was shocking to me when I learned this stuff. So it might be, you might be just as surprised at some of the details. Yeah, look for the video. My mother's father, my true biological grandfather, was always a mystery, and I may have the answer to that. But anyway. Our calendar and our timekeeping system is based off of Jesus' life. And so therefore, you don't believe in Jesus, you better come up with another number on what day you're living, because that's how we tell time. The other thing is I do know a lot about energy, working with the spiritual realm, being an active medium and all that stuff, that I do. And it's not sorcery and it's not magic. So it's not the stuff that God is saying is bad in the Bible. The sorcerers and the magicians were ones who would cast spells to make people do things, right? Or to control fate. Or manifestation is something different. You know, you can believe in yourself and manifest within yourself, but if you're manifesting other people to do things that are against their will, that's where now you're using magic, where you're a sorcerer, okay? Helping people through understanding energy is not anything against God or some kind of evil force to be reckoned with. But time is fluid. So we can't say that at the age of 5, we all learned a particular certain lesson. Those lessons are going to be learned at different ages. So some people might go through something at 5, others go through it at 7. Take female menstruation. Okay, if time was the same for everybody, then everyone, let's say, would have their period on their 13th birthday. We don't. We grow differently, we develop differently, and therefore we have our periods different times in life. Like I never even had one until I was 17 and went to a doctor, and they forced a period by giving me medication just to see if if everything was working. And it was, and they said there's nothing wrong with it. And then maybe when I was 21, 22, I started having one natural period a year. Then it went up to 2. Then it was, 3 or 4. So by the time I was in my 30s, I was having maybe still just 3 or 4 naturally. And then when I was 45, boom, every 28 days. It was like that's when full puberty hit me. My timeline for that was different than everybody else's, clearly. So I've always used it as a joke because I guess it takes me 30 more years to learn things than everybody else. So hit me up when I'm 90. I might know what I was supposed to know when I was 60. I don't know. But anyway, time is fluid. It is going to be different for everybody else. So sometimes we can experience something that we can help other people through at a later point in time, because then they're going to experience it. And that is the way it works. We're supposed to experience things in different times so that we can also be a help and not a hindrance to somebody going through it that may actually need our help, because we experienced it at different times in our life. And the same, you look at when do you fall in love? Well, everyone does at different times. There's no set time that can be placed on this stuff. We learn lessons over time. And sometimes in time, we are lucky enough to get a do-over, where a deja vu type situation will start happening and we'll go, I've been through this before. If you come across those in time, you will find you did the wrong thing the first time. And you're having to go through it again, a few different, slightly different circumstance, so that you can learn the lesson. And over time, you will keep repeating certain patterns, certain things, till you get it figured out, till you do the right thing. And it'll happen over and over and over again. Trust me. Make sure that you're putting the right value on your time as the most priceless possession that you have. Because 2 minutes from now, you could be gone. And what did you do with your time? Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't let certain things like depression and stuff like that kill your time. Whether you want to or not, get out there and do things and force yourself, because you would be surprised. The cure is just in you valuing your time. Put the value on it, and only you can do that. So that's my wisdom for today on time. From the Bible, I did find 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2, that I felt best related. And it says, "For he says, in the time of my favor, I heard you, and in the day of salvation, I helped you. I tell you, now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation." Notice everything is in God's time, not ours. And that's why we can't put a time frame on certain things, even like as simple as a female menstruation. You can't. You can put parentheses around a time you're expecting it, but it will happen in God's time. And I look at, like, for example, I did go to the doctor thinking, okay, there's something wrong with this. Is this like my body flushing eggs? Because I'm going to go through menopause at 45. And believe it or not, the doctors, and I saw 2, have confirmed that you could have a baby. Only problem is, I also still, because of the PCOS, have an issue with my ovaries. If I am going to have a child, I would have to have it very quickly and very soon, and it could actually kill me because we're not sure about some of the growths in that area, and if I should have all of that cleaned out just to make sure that a worse health condition is not developing. So God gives me the chance to have a child at a later point in life when Satan says, no, I'm going to put this obstacle in the way, and you have to cut all that out so you don't. So I kind of wonder if this is God's way of saying, die gracefully, or Satan's way of cutting out another earth angel that could be brought to earth. I don't know. Time is going to tell, and it will be in God's timing on how this is all going to play out in my life and what decisions are going to be made, and whether or not it's much more serious than it is, or I don't know. I've got a lot going on, and I'm just going to appreciate the time that I have. All right, on that note, love you. Later.